Welcome to another edition of the Teaching and Learning Update. Danny Jaber here with Jamie Mason. A couple of different topics we're going to talk about this morning, and Jamie is going to start by discussing pivot surveys.
Thanks, Danny. Some of you have probably already done this at your previous CRC school. We use the pivot survey. We used it in the past, and we're bringing it back this year. The purpose of this is to get feedback from you about what's happening in your classrooms, and the school and your teacher really values the feedback that you give us. So we want you to take this seriously and to answer as honestly as possible. Your teachers will get this feedback. It is anonymous feedback. They will start to understand what is going well in the classroom, maybe some things that are in classroom that aren't going so well, and getting information from you, the people who are actually experiencing what's going on in the class, is incredibly important and useful. So over the next couple of weeks before the end of the term, and also into very early in term 2, you will find that your teacher will in class send you a link, and you will be asked to open that link and probably spend 5 to 10 minutes completing the survey. You will be given 25 questions. You'll be able to take as much time as you need, but usually it's no more than 10 minutes, probably less. As I said before, the results are completely anonymous, but we do get some information as school leaders about overall climate of the school in terms of learning and teaching, and that's useful for us. But the most important person in this process is your teacher, because they will then be able to look at the data and work out, okay, what are some things that I need to work on to improve my teaching? You'll see that it's a 6-point scale. So it will force you to kind of move towards either disagreeing or agreeing. There's kind of no neutral there. That's an example of the type of question that you will be asked. And if you're not sure about what the question is asking, if you're not sure about it, you can hover over that question and you will then get a further explanation about what the question is actually on about. After the survey, as it says here, your teacher will get a report that will be just their own data. As school leaders, Danny and I will get information about what's going on in faculties and also about what's happening in the whole school. So before I hand back, a couple of other things. When we get this data as teachers, we then formulate some goals that we can work on, and might even get someone else to come into our classrooms and observe us as we're working on a particular technique or strategy. So really important that you take it seriously, really valuable information, and you can look out for that over the next couple of weeks and also into term 2. Finally, from me, just a reminder that parent-teacher interviews are on this Tuesday and Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Your parents would have received information about that via direct message. We strongly encourage your parents to make appointments to meet with your teachers, and really you should be there as well. It's really a much better experience when you're there with your parents and we can kind of talk collaboratively about what's happening in the class. Your input's really important in those meetings as well. So please encourage your parents, and we certainly encourage you to be involved in those parent-teacher interviews. I'll hand over to Danny.
Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, just a couple of quick notices from me. First of all, just to be clear, subject changes are not occurring anymore. The subject change window was way back at the beginning of this term. We're now so far into this term that SACs are taking place, that there's so much content that's already been missed, that it causes more chaos and more issue than it does to just stick with the subject. Give it a good crack, persevere, show that resilience, just till the end of this semester. And the aim really is just to pass the unit. When you're in year 11 in particular, when you get that S result, that will contribute to your 16 units across year 11 and 12. And that's going to be really important to you. So there is value in sticking out a subject, even when you're finding it difficult. And I think this notion of trying to drop out of subjects when they are getting tough, that's not an option either. We've got to persevere. We've got to find some sort of motive and reason to remain in that class, even when we're finding it difficult, even if it is just to prove to yourself that you can do it and prove to yourself that you can get that result. Beyond that, and on the topic of SACs, obviously we are in SAC season now, both year 11 and 12. And so it's vital that, you are attending those assessments, you're treating them like exams because they are practice for the exams. That means you bring the right materials in. It means that you write in pen when necessary, and only in certain occasions do you use pencil. If it does outline, you can use pencil. It means having clear plastic bottles. It means being silent. It means no electronic devices. So they're all the demands that are made by VCAR and that we replicate here at the college. If you're unable to attend, then you must ensure you have a medical certificate for that on non-attendance. Either it's a school-approved non-attendance or it's a medical certificate. If not, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, you will not obtain a score for that SAC. You will sit it for an SRN, but no score. And if that's a Unit 3-4 subject, that could hamper your potential in that subject overall. So do bear that in mind. Do communicate with your teachers. Let us know what's going on, and then we can support you as best as possible. Good luck with all of that, and we'll see you ahead of the next update.